24 minutes before 1 o'clock at 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. It's now time for Community Comment. We head over to the Daily Dodge TV studio, and joining us is Kevin Howard.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. Welcome into today's Community Comment. I'm your host, Kevin Haugen. It's my pleasure to welcome into our conversation here on Daily Dodge TV and broadcasting on 95.3 WBEV is Beaver Dam City Administrator Nathan Thiel. Nathan, thank you so much for coming in today.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Kevin.
Yeah, and we have a lot to get to in just a very short amount of time to get all these conversations in the program today. But if anyone does have a question out there for our listeners or our viewers today, you can reach the program at 885-4446 to call in, or you can text your questions to 887-9595. Again, the phone number 885-4446, or you can text 887-9595, and we'll divert our conversation to get to those callers or questions if we ever get those throughout our program today. But Nathan, I can't believe it. Summer's already over here. We just mentioned that briefly. It's crazy how fast the last couple months have gone.
Yeah, you have the Dodge County Fair, and then you're going back to school already. It's
I
crazy.
know. Yeah. Did you get out to the fair at all the last couple days?
I have to confess, I did not. Part of it was the day it was raining, but I know it's a blast, and I'll champion it any day of the week.
No, I will too. I'm in the same boat. Did not have time to make it out there in person this year. Was able to kind of follow along on some of the streams.
What a great lead-in, Kevin.
No, I know. I'm already asking questions that you already don't want to answer, which is a great start here on our program. But yeah, again, the great thing about the fair, it happens every year. So if you miss one year, I know the people with the Fair Association, they do a great job planning the event and putting on some great shows and exhibits. So if you miss one year, you can always catch it next year and head out.
It's something to be proud about in our community. I mean, really, honestly, a highlight for Dodge County and for Beaver Dam.
Yeah, it's always a fun event to attend. Now that's in our rearview mirror, let's focus in on some topics here that we want to talk about here on Community Comment. Up first is a waterway cleanup event that's happening in September.
Yeah, so every year we have an annual cleanup event similar to the Earth Day event that happens in the downtown. Protect Wisconsin Waterways. They coordinate an event here throughout this region of Wisconsin. But in Beaver Dam, we've participated. I was able to participate in that last year. It was a great event, basically cleaning up trash along Beaver Dam Lake. This year, the group is planning on meeting in Votech Park. So September 21st, I believe 9 a.m. I should verify that, but you can go to the website, protectwiwaterways.org, and then if you do pickup page, I think is pick/page/
It's one of those variations.
Yeah, one of those variations. Anyways, you can go and you can actually register for the event. And if you register, you do get a free shirt. So
a perk to pre-register. And again, that's September 21st.
September 21st.
So head to Protect Waterways or WI Waterways to learn more. And it's such an important thing to do for, I feel like, for our community here in Beaver Dam, just how many rivers, lakes, and streams that we have in our area. It's always important to keep those areas protected and cleaned up.
Yeah, it's interesting. We recently I was visiting Public Works and took a picture of a dumpster, a huge dumpster. We street sweep daily, and over the course of a 2-week period, just under 2 weeks, this dumpster was like completely filled, and it was, us humans, sometimes we're not the best to our environment.
That's true.
And so this is a way for you to give back, a way for you to participate. It may not be your trash that you littered, but you can help kind of pass along a good favor. So
fantastic. So a fun event to take part in here, happening in our community in September. Speaking of parks, there's been some improvements to another local park here in the city at Rotary Park.
Yeah. So Rotary Park right now is under construction. We are waiting. We got so much rain this year. The main purpose of that improvement is the park in the downtown. You've got the tower lot, and you've got some musical instruments. You've got the river walk. and the two bridges and so forth. Anyways, Rotary Park, there's a wall that was starting to tip into the river, and it's been on the council's minds to improve that for some time. And we had intended for it to start, earlier this year, but we got so much rain this year that it started just mid-August, and it will be going until the end of September. So if you do make your way to downtown, you're parking at like Palenque or something, you'll notice that there's a bit of construction. You might need to change where you park. But we're excited for that improvement. Basically, we're replacing that river wall and improving that parking lot. So, anyways.
No, great. Now, is there a timeline or a project end date that we have yet that we can share?
Yeah, so we're planning. Weather permitting, the intent is to be done by the end of September.
Great.
So October 1, everything should be back to normal and working on a punch list items, that sort of thing.
Perfect. And that's kind of an area that's seen a couple of improvements. I know a little further, I guess, if you're looking, and I'm terrible with directions, but if you're standing on the side with the water tower and you're looking across the river towards the left of you, some work had been done in the last couple of years to upgrade that area as well with the wall there and some of the areas. So it's gone through, that stretch has gone through some improvements over the last couple of years.
So there was the phase 1 where we did the parking lot. There was kind of a peonies garden area. There was the canoe or kayak drop-off location. So that was kind of phase 1. Now phase 2 is happening where we're replacing the rest of that river wall, and we're improving the parking lot to the north. And hopefully we'll have the opportunity to do a phase 3 where we'll be improving the rest of the parking lot up to where the bathrooms are and near the musical instruments and things of that nature.
We're speaking with Beaver Dam City Administrator Nathan Thiel here on Community Comment. Again, the phone number to get in the program, 885-4446. And speaking about improvements and upgrading certain areas here in the city of Beaver Dam, a community development block grant was awarded, I guess you could say, to the city for is it street work happening here in the city?
So it's not going to happen this year. Clearly, we're kind of ramping down. We'll still have later this fall will be kind of our roadway maintenance where we'll do crack sealing and some significant repairs to roads throughout the city, but nothing like milling and overlays and things of that nature. But this grant that we were awarded, thanks to the diligence of our Director of Engineering, Todd Jansen, applied for this. It's actually been a couple of times that we applied for this section of roadway, and this year we were awarded. We're very grateful to the state and to our partners in that sense. But it's going to be Beaver Street and also a portion of Front Street. So just west of downtown. Those roadways, those blocks are going to be reconstructed this coming year. So we're really grateful. These sections of road need some work.
Yeah, no, I feel like having these grant opportunities, I'm sure, are a real big benefit to communities like Beaver Dam to be able to afford getting major road projects done. I know it's been a main focus of the council the last couple of years is improving the roads in the city, and having these funds available, I'm sure, have been helping get these projects accomplished.
We've been fairly dependent on grants for being able to get road improvements. It's going to get harder as we go along, because a lot of the grants that we receive are for more not side streets but main thoroughfares. In this case, the CDBG program, the reason why we're able to apply for that is low to moderate income permitted us to qualify. And so this is $1 million grant. The city still needs to put another $500,000 towards the project. It's not just a 100% grant. There's always a kind of a share of the grant that you need to participate in.
Typically, there are always like some sort of matching requirements that comes in with applying for these grants.
Right.
That you have to give up a portion of your city dollars in order to get the awarded grant dollars, so you could pay for these projects essentially.
But like you were commenting, we're always looking for grants and really wanting to make sure that we're keeping up on maintenance. It's been a top priority of our council. And something that I'm working on with our Director of Engineering, of how to plan and make sure that we're able to keep up our road maintenance, so that we didn't get into the road situation overnight, and we're not going to get out of it overnight. It's going to take time, but the hope is that by maintaining a routine, we can get to a good, smooth sailing, easy course.
Is there a number of roads or miles or however blocks or however it's set up at the council that they want to address or fix over a year? I know at the county level, I believe it's like a 20 to 25 mile stretch they want to improve every year. Is that something like happening at the council level?
Yeah, we don't do it by miles, but what we do, we do look at streets and we rate them. It's a 10 to 1 rating, and your intention is to keep your roads above a 5, because if they start to slip below that 5, then what you're doing is you're paying double for that road. You're not just paying for the road surface, you're paying for the base. And so the intent is to get our roads above 5, so 10 to 5 is good. Generally speaking, in our calculations, just to keep the infrastructure that we have in good running order, we need to be reinvesting about $4 million a year. At this point in time, the city's been pretty consistent, doing about $2 million plus grants, but we're working to get ourselves up to that $4 million.
Speaking of grants and roads, there is another grant opportunity that came here to Beaver Dam through the Surface Transportation Program.
Yeah, STP for is the acronym. We're very fortunate. We just got word this week that we were awarded. Actually, it was last week. I have to remember that it's Monday.
Weeks start to blend together.
Yeah, they do. But we were awarded that grant this last week. We're excited about it. So we'll be planning for Judson Drive in 2025 design work, and then in 2026 we'll be able to do some resurfacing of a portion, a section of that road, that street.
And that's just a resurfacing project. That's not going to be a curb and gutter.
No, that won't be a full reconstruction. It'll be resurfacing. Yeah, and to give you context, the difference, this is like $300,000 versus the Beaver in front, which is $1 million plus. Reconstruction is significant, and that's the difference also between the idea of let's resurface and let's reconstruct, or keeping it above a 5. If we can keep things that we're just doing maintenance and resurfacing, it's a lot better.
Yeah, and I think that's an important note that I think sometimes gets lost when people look at roads. It's like, why is this one being addressed and not this one? It's a part of the decision, as you mentioned, Nathan, is keeping that rating above a 5, so the costs don't go up so much to pay to get these roads fixed. So you might look at certain roads as this is a priority over other roads, and that's sort of the decisions that
it may seem a little bit backwards to make sure that we're keeping 8s and 6s and 7s and 5s in good repair.
Right.
But you're going to pay for it double if you let those roads slip in order to try to address those that are kind of lower on the totem pole. And I recognize that those that live on roads that are lower on the totem pole, that is not something they want to hear. But we're really trying to make the tax dollar go as far as it can.
Yeah. Again, we're chatting with Beaver Dam City Administrator Nathan Thiel here on Community Comment today. Another thing we want to highlight and note on our program, a little bit of older news, but for those who maybe have missed it and are still having a buildup of things they want to drop off at the drop-off site. Yeah, that's a little bit some new information that we want to share with listeners.
Yeah, so hopefully you already saw it in the news, but just in case you haven't, the drop-off site has kind of changed its where you go. So I always get this backwards. It's West South Street, I believe, not Southwest Street. People are probably going to be confused just that I mentioned the difference. But anyways, you're going to go to West South Street to the drop-off site. It used to be on Center Street. We've repaved the whole area. We've really updated it. I think it's a pretty slick operation now. And we've also increased the hours, right? So Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It is video surveillance, which allows us to make sure that there aren't any bad actors. And just so that we know, if there is abuse, then we'll have to change how the hours that we do. But so far, knock on wood, for those on the radio, I knocked my head. So, but anyways,
you don't have any other wood available.
We don't have any other wood
that's
available, right? The new operations out at the drop-off site are pretty slick, and what a great resource that we have for our community. And I think the planning and the design, I give kudos to Dan Mulhern, our director of public works, or public works supervisor, and Todd Jansen, our director of engineering, who kind of helped design and lay out that site.
Yeah, and things to note, as you mentioned, that there are security cameras posted, and there's surveillance happening. So
no abuse out there.
No, yes. So make
Township,
sure that you're
not supposed to.
no contractor, all that, all those things that you make sure you follow the rules and all the guidelines that are posted at the DPW site, because like you mentioned, it's great having those extended hours. It allows people who are maybe busy with certain work schedules that can't make the previous hours work. It really opens those things up for them, and hopefully things stay, like you said, knock on wood, as they've been the last couple of weeks, and these new hours can stay in place.
Yeah, it's been a good thing for our community and residents. So
yeah, absolutely. Another new and exciting thing that was just unveiled not too long ago, I believe last week, was sort of an official celebratory gathering of city leaders and those involved, is a couple of new water features at the Beaver Dam splash pad. I was able to head out there and see some of those firsthand, and it's exciting to be able to have some of the new features out there.
Yeah, so we're really grateful for our partners. This has really been a beautiful asset to the community. So Water Technologies, Water Play, who are located here in Beaver Dam, they really have been strong advocates and good partners to the city of Beaver Dam. And so their desire is that every year or every other year they're going to rotate equipment out and kind of test their new equipment. So if you go out there, there's a new piece of equipment that's for toddlers. It's kind of like a shell with some kind of the toddler will be able to lean up against and touch some buttons.
Like water trickling
water
around.
trickling.
Yep.
Yep. You can describe it better than I can, Kevin. And there's also a fish gun type.
Like the ground spray, was how it was described to me, essentially.
So just exciting. What a great partnership. And we're looking forward to things like this happening, every year. And we really want to give kudos to Waterplay and Water Technology for their support of the community.
Yeah, I think it's such a cool and unique opportunity for the Beaver Dam splash pad. I really kind of was able to learn a lot more about it when I was out there last week, speaking with the folks with Waterplay. That the Beaver Dam splash pad is essentially a test site for a lot of their new features and equipment that Waterplay creates and assembles at their factory, and they come in and they install them, and they do real world testing and be able to see how the effects of the summer and the winter have on these equipments. And it's a great opportunity for them and for the folks at Beaver Dam that they get to have new equipment every couple of years, that they get to test these things out. So it's a great partnership between Waterplay and the city.
One thing that we've talked about is getting kind of a kids subcommittee to participate in some of this too. And now that I've said it on radio, I'm convicting myself to do this. And if there are listeners out there that their kids want to volunteer and participate, I think it really is a fun idea. And just a shameless plug too as well, that there are so many individuals that have sponsored equipment out at the splash pad, and that those sponsorships have gone to help pay for and make the improvements at Swan Park happen. And just so you know, there are still pieces of equipment out there. We put a plaque out there with your name, recognize you. So if there are businesses, there are individuals that have desire to participate in this, really this community engagement and this community asset, just contact me. It really is wonderful to see all the people that utilize the splash pad during the summer. I was out there one day and I was just blown away at the decibel level of just kids having fun. Yeah. It was great.
It's awesome to see. I know it's really a great new feature to have here in the city of Beaver Dam. And another really new fun feature that is set to have its official ribbon cutting or open to the public event here in the next couple of weeks is the new pickleball courts here in the city.
This coming Wednesday, we're going to have a ribbon cutting, and this is thanks to the pickleball court committee that really took initiative and did some fundraising and made this court happen. It's beautiful. If you haven't been out to athletic fields to see this asset, please do. If you want to pick up the sport, I know that there are plenty of individuals in Beaver Dam that would love to play against you. So.
Fantastic. And we're just about wrapping up here our time on community comment. And before we let our guest today go, just a real quick note, and maybe putting you on the spot here, but Hobby Lobby, that's still set to open here, I believe, at the end of this month. I believe is the official around that start time is when it's supposed to open up.
I actually I believe that their soft opening is next Saturday, right? Or next Sunday.
I want to say that sounds right. Yes.
Yeah, it's next weekend, and I should have. I didn't. You were quizzing me.
I told you I'd be putting you on the spot, so it's my fault.
But we're excited to have that new opening, that new store, retail chain in our neighborhood. It will be good.
Fantastic. On that note, I want to thank our guest here on Community Comment today. We are joined with Beaver Dam City Administrator Nathan Thiel. Nathan, thank you so much for coming in today.
Again, my pleasure.
And that will do it for today's Community Comment.
If you